Hello everybody, my name is Blue, and I'm bringing you guys viewer replay cast number 69, and if you guys give me a second, I gotta go do something. Okay, thing is done, everything's good, all is well. I can speak a little bit louder, might be a little bit stronger, but anywho, this is a viewer replay cast, as well as sent in by a viewer. I'm not gonna tell you guys who sent it in until the very end, because the general assumption is the person who sent it in is probably on the team that won, and we don't want to spoilers here at all, guys, so we're just gonna let this game load on up and get ready to talk about some awesome things that happened in this game. And these guys are still, there we go, we got everybody loaded up. Oh cool, all random, sweet. Sweet stuff happening all around the map. Oh yeah, let me go and switch my overlay to my final overlay now that that's over. And once this decides to let me load, we'll be on about our way. Let's see, free camera. Okay, cool. Everything's fine, everything is dandy. And let me go and do introduction, start off on the side of the diary, because that is the side I went to first. Battle. I don't know what's about this diary side, but they look freaking awesome. Starting off with this not Queen of Pain, Crystal Maiden. We see Wolfmaster on her. Moving on to this Omniknight, we see Old Spice, Odor, Blocker, Body Was. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to mean, but we see him on Omniknight. On this Witch Doctor, we see Januazi, or Januaja, on him, and whoa. Oh, okay, let me start over. Because Elder Titan and Crystal Maiden switched. So on this Elder Titan, we see Wolfmaster on him. Moving over to his Crystal Maiden, we see Tom6903 on that Crystal Maiden. And Omniknight and Witch Doctor, the same person. So let me move on to the last person, which is Spirit Breaker, or Spirit Breaker, however you want to call him. We see Dark's Pawn on him. And let's move on to the Radiant side. On this Radiant side, we see on this Rubick.
30 seconds.
Oh jeez. Okay. Finesta, Hasty, Sokolde. Let's just pretend I pronounced that right, guys. Moving on to Zeus, we see Skiba Troll on Zeus. On this Slark, we see Sub Focus on him. Moving over to this Drow Ranger, we see Snake Eyes 2013. So that's obviously a new name for that person. And on this Wisp, who's the final person to call out, we see, of course, the one, the only, or that person, Rogmar. Alright, that's enough of that. I feel like one of these days, someone's gonna send me in a cast with just very, very badly spelled names, just to have me not be able to pronounce them, so I can butcher them even worse than I am doing now. So, all that aside, guys, definitely do that. That'd be awesome. I would love you guys forever if you guys give me one of those, and then I'll hate you guys forever while I'm doing it. So, moving on to the lane matchups, we see down bottom lane Rubick and also a Zeus going up against, of course, a Crystal Maiden and a Elder Titan. And honestly, Elder Titan can handle his lane by himself. I think Crystal Maiden's time might be better spent up top. That could be a deadly combination right there. A Frostbite into an Omniknight heal into a Spirit Breaker charge is going to be a dead people. And speaking of that, I'm going to talk about that up top real fast, or in a second. But mid, we see, of course, Slark versus Witch Doctor. And by of course, I mean what? We see Slark versus Witch Doctor. Why not? Witch Doctor, he can't be run mid. I don't see the power in him running mid because his synergy is much more useful with other people with his paralyzing cast plus his maledict. Because usually Witch Doctor can't just dish out the damage to actually help him get kills. He needs the assistance of other people. But I'll talk about that more a little bit later. And moving on to his top lane, we see a Drow Ranger and we also see a Creep. Oh, alright, it was right. A Drow Ranger plus a Wisp going up against a Omniknight and a Spirit Breaker. And like I said, this lane will be a lot more deadly to the Radiant if the Crystal Maiden did rotate up top, because a Frostbite into Omniknight heal into Spirit Breaker charge will be pretty nasty. And speaking of that, as far as the Spirit Breaker's initial build, I do not agree with at all. I would much prefer to see him hold on to that point instead of spending it right away on charge, because charge at level 1 doesn't give you much. It gives you no stun because you don't have your bash yet. That's pretty much it. So, I mean, it might give you like a 0.3 second stun, but not really. So Spirit Breaker up top, I'm not agree with that build. Bash first is what Spirit Breakers usually go for, and especially in this matchup, he's not going to have to face all that much damage. Omniknight will be able to heal him up if he does get in too much trouble. So down bottom we had Elder Titan taking up a few tower shots for no apparent reason. And Crystal Maiden, she actually might be going down here very soon. Crystal Maiden is extremely fragile. Rubick's going to get telekinesis, going to pull it right back. And Elder Titan does cancel the stun before it comes out. They could have potentially converted that into something, but it looks like they didn't. They weren't able to at all. And up top, we got this guy just hanging out. Wisp plus Drow. I'm not really too sure where Wisp is going to fit into this. Wisp and Slark, that's a decent combination, but it's not the best in the world because Slark can move across the map anyway. And Wisp plus Drow Ranger, I don't see that as being a good combination. Anyway, mid, we see Slark taking a lot of chip damage from Witch Doctor. Like I said before, Witch Doctor doesn't really have the damage to actually kill people, unless he catches with that Maledict. And versus a Slark, if Witch Doctor tries to even attempt, guys, that's right, throwing in all those superlatives, I don't know, whatever they're called. Even if he tries to throw a Maledict, Slark can just throw a leash on him and then get the kill easy. Easy kill is easy. So right down bottom, these guys are still trading blows back and forth. Surprisingly, Rubick and Zeus are doing decent versus the Elder Titan and Crystal Maiden, albeit they're winning their lane so far. Meanwhile, on top we got Wisp and Spiritbreaker, Wisp and Omniknight just trading love taps back and forth. Omniknight heals himself up and backs on away. Does have an early point inside of Dingenor, which is a really nice thing to have. It basically just allows him to be a little bit more annoying to people who are melee. That said, Wisp and Drow Ranger are probably some of the longest range people in this game. Anyway, we got Spiritbreaker charges on Wisp. Nothing really happening on top of that, but down bottom we do have a first blood going to Rubick. That was a dead Crystal Maiden who just went down, and Elder Titan trying to get a stomp off on Rubick, but does miss it completely, so I missed the first blood, guys. I apologize, but I missed the first blood. And Slark just hanging out mid. I'm just saying this top lane looks a lot more dangerous than the bottom lane, honestly. But the bottom lane are playing are a lot riskier. I mean, Elder Titan being that low, trying to come up to Rubick, trying to get a stomp off. Nobody's going to be there to get a stomp. Easiest dodge of his life, and this should be a dead Elder Titan. Zeus is going to be able to finish that off with a Thunderbolt from downtown and has a nice day. Well, he didn't say that, but he would have if he would have thought of it. Meanwhile, sub-focus on the Slark mid. I am disagreeing with this build completely. Has 3 slippers of agility for all of his feet. Well, he only has 2 feet and 2 hands. I don't understand, that's all I gotta say. That's a lot of gold that he's wasting on something that he doesn't need. Also, his team doesn't have a courier at all, and on the other side they have 2 couriers, so I don't know what's going on with this game, guys. 2 couriers on one side, 1 courier on the other side. Maybe the other side stole the Radiant's courier and just used it on their side? I don't know. A lot of miscommunication going on between these teams, I can tell you that from the top of my head. And judging by a few things that I'm seeing so far, I mean, I'm not seeing mass healing salves. Well, actually, no, I take it back. I am seeing mass healing cells, but we're a little bit too early to determine the actual, the implied level of the players in this game. Now, of course, whenever I do judge the implied level of the game, I'm not saying that these guys are horrible at this game. They should stop playing Dota, uninstall. I'm just saying that these guys are going to make a lot of mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, down bottom we got Chris Maiden going to go down. Elder Titan finally getting a stomp on Rubick, and Rubick eating all the damage from creeps. Elder Titan needs to come up here and finish off this Rubick so he can get the kill. Looks like he will be able to get the kill this 1-out attack. Sadly, Zeus was not body blocking like a boss, but hey, I don't body block like a boss anyway. And Zeus is actually going to turn around and throw a lot of damage towards towards the Elder Titan. And I'm actually kind of sad to see Zeus not getting any point in static field. Because if he got a few points of static field, that might be a dead Elder Titan. Or at least he'll be a lot lower than what he is now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So we got Spiritbreaker charging down bottom on top of the Zeus. He's going to do probably nothing. Unless a level 1 charge and a level 2 bash. And Elder Titan's a little bit too far back to actually do anything. He does have an Astral Spirit, that's really about it. Now Spiritbreaker's going to pray for some bashes, but he's going to get no bashes. Elder Titan getting some nice chunk of damage on top of Zeus. But sadly he has no more mana for a stomp. It's a healing salve coming from Rubick to Zeus, and this is the game of healing salves, guys. It is almost official that this is a game of healing salves. But Rubick, he bought a healing salve for Zeus, arguably, but I want to say he bought another healing salve for himself when he came back, which I do not like at all. Meanwhile, Spiritbreaker down bottom, he charged all the way down bottom. Crystal Maiden does throw out the Frostbite, but nobody really follows up. Possibly a charge from Spiritbreaker and maybe a stomp from Elder Titan might have been able to get the kill. But Elder Titan doesn't have all the mana to actually do anything. Meanwhile, mid, Slark is still chilling on his items. Look at this, guys. 3 slippers of agilities plus a Sage's Mask. I'm not too sure what exactly he wants to go for. But whatever it is, whatever it may be, it is not the most efficient way to go for it. And actually, Spiritbreaker passes right by a haste rune. But hey, who needs haste when you move at a nice little target speed? Slark does leak, and he does get hit, bashed into the thing. Sadly, he wasn't get focused. Meanwhile, top Drow Ranger's in a lot of trouble. She's actually really low. Spiritbreaker might be able to get this kill, if anything. Drow Ranger can turn on Total Silence, but I don't think it'll really do much. And she does have a point inside of it. Spiritbreaker able to get the kill on top of him, and Drow is dead. In 7 more seconds, they might be able to charge the Wisp and go for a kill on top of that. Or maybe they'll be able to get the kill flat out, because Witch Doctor does have a casket, and he also has his ult. And if they just find one creep near Wisp, actually no, Wisp is getting, oh my gosh, full man mode on Wisp. Wisp does get the kill on top of that Witch Doctor. Meanwhile down bottom we got a fight happening. We got Crystal Maiden once again very low, trying to run away, does go down. Rubick says no to that. And up top, we got Omniknight saying, bro, I'm full man mode. I got my magic immunity. And we're saying, bro, I got right clicks. Let's do this. Omniknight heals himself up. He should be able to back away safely. And where's Drow Ranger? Okay, Drow Ranger decided to walk up top. And Spearbreaker is charging on bottom. Killing spree does go towards Zeus, who does have a haste room, so he should be able to survive the initial batch of Spearbreaker and then run. Actually, no, it just ran out. Never mind. He does get hit with the double bash. Rubick did steal something. Rubick stole bash. He needs to go and use it. No, he does not use it. Instead, he zaps the Spearbreaker, and now he's reading his spell.
Dire's middle tower is under
Just trying to figure out what it does. Meanwhile, Slark still hanging out mid. Ring of Aquila is up, and them double slippers of agility.
Dire's top tower
I want to
is
say
under
he's going
attack.
for a stout. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. See, now that makes sense. He's going for a poor man's shield and also a Ring of Aquila. Okay, guys, I see. It all makes sense now. But the fact of the matter is, it's not on his person, so it doesn't really matter what he buys. It's his skin is useless. But meanwhile, down bottom, we got Spearbreaker charges up Rubick. Rubick gonna go ahead and charge, does do a midget charge, and turns around, throws out some damage on top of Spearbreaker. Spearbreaker turns right back and returns to damage. Chrisman able to finish off the kill on top of Rubick, and now she's in a little bit of trouble. Elder Titan coming around the corner, needs to go and throw out that spear and try to stomp, but it looks like he will not be able to get into range. And just whacks away. Just whacks away at Zeus. Meanwhile, Witch Doctor does use his ulti and then cancels it for no apparent reason. He might have been able to get a nice little chunk of damage, but without that Maledict drop on him first, he wouldn't have been able to do much. And Zeus ulti does fly, and then we got Slark leaping forward on top of Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor a little bit of trouble. There's the death coming from Slark. He'll come from Witch Doctor. He'll be able to back away from this sadly. And actually those are the casket. No creeps are around, but they were. That would have been a dead Slark. That would have been a dead Slark. But now Witch Doctor's officially out. Man, a Spearbreaker charge on top of Slark, and Slark just might be in a little bit of trouble. Sub-focus needs to focus on GTFOing, because Spearbreaker's coming right on down the middle. His ulti's not up, but he is going to go for the charge anyway. It should be enough damage to kill Slark. I think Slark has a leap, but he did just use it, so he's not going to be able to run away from this. He's going to have to stand there and fight like a man. Actually, Spearbreaker going to decide to let him run honorably, because Slark was a little bit too low to fight. He's like, I shall fight with honor, and I shall let you run away.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So meanwhile,
attack.
Wisp does have herself some arcane boots, kind of. And Drow Ranger has herself some boots.
Invisibility.
Yeah, see, the thing about Drow Ranger right now is that she has her frost arrows on permanent cast, or auto cast. It's called auto cast, not permanent cast. But basically what you do is you just right click it, and it stays on automatically. And what that's doing is that's draining her mana crazily, and it's also not giving her much. She has 3 points out of it, so it's reducing somebody's move speed by 37%, but I mean, I don't know how much it's going to do when you have a Spearbreaker charging down your back. But speaking of Spearbreaker, he's right here, he's ready to go. These guys are close to the tower, there's no way for them to run. Wisp could try to relocate out, but it won't be enough. Drow is dead already. And that was a fantastic way to die. That was a fantastic way to die. Elder Titan going to go ahead and throw out the arrows. That's like, not arrows. Going to go ahead and throw out the spirit, do a little bit of damage, and try to force this guy's back. Rubick telekinesis to the side. Zeus in a little bit of trouble. Elder Titan needs to go ahead and start stomping. This would be a dead Zeus. It should be a dead Zeus. That's enough damage. Zeus does pop his ulti. Sadly, he doesn't have any static fields, so it doesn't really do much. Well, it does much, but it doesn't really do much to everybody who's surrounding him. That could have potentially left Elder Titan low enough for Rubick to possibly get a kill on top of that, too. But looks like they only got one. And we got Spearbreaker charging down on top of Rubick. Spearbreaker charging all around the map. Probably not the most effective way to charge around the map, but hey, he's charging around the map anyway, and he's going for an armlet of all things. So it'll be awesome to see once he gets that up. And Rubick in a little bit of trouble. Income pending crash in 3, 2, 1. Boom! There goes the crash. Spearbreaker ulti's not up, but he doesn't really need it. He should be able to get the kill on top of Rubick. Actually, no, telekinesis from Rubick does come through, but sadly, Witch Doctor's here. Maledict does miss completely. Witch Doctor needs to go and drop that ult, but no, it's a little bit too late. Zeus is here. Zeus is ready to go for the fight. He's going to go ahead and go for some damage on top of Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor pops that heal.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And he should be able to back away. Meanwhile, Omniknight ulti is up. He has that ring of
Dire's structures are
Soul Ring.
fortified.
Jesus, I knew I was calling it wrong.
Dire's middle tower
And we got
is under
Spearbreaker charging mid on top of Wisp. So Wisp is going to get sandwiched between two heroes. Omniknight already throwing out the Dinjanora. Not Dinjanora, the Repel, just because. And now he's going to body block his partner like a boss. Dinjanora is going to help him catch up to him though, but Wisp is actually moving a little bit too fast. Wisp does stand and fight. Ulti from Spearbreaker was used, so big blunders coming up from there. It's really overkill. Meanwhile, Elder Titan does go down mid to the Slark, and these guys are just having a field day all around the map. And while these guys are having a field day, let's go and take a fast look. Actually, no, we can't. We've got Drow about to die. She's in the worst spot possible. Omniknight popping that Soul Ring. Wants to go for some damage. Spearbreaker sadly doesn't have anything. He does have a charge. There's the Dinjanor, sorry, Repel throw on top of him, and Drow should be dead. Sounds coming through on a few people. And Drow Ranger does get hit with that last right click, and Spearbreaker's here. Spearbreaker's ready to fight again. Nope, Zeus ulti does fly. We got a Crystal Maiden going down bottom because of it. And now we got somebody. Hold on, who's this? Slark is still chasing the
Radiant's
Omni.
middle
I don't think
tower is under
Omni
attack.
will be able to get away from this. Actually, no, Slark's out of mana. Yeah, Omni should be fine. Omni should be perfectly fine getting away from this, especially the Witch Doctor's going on now. And Maledict needs to come through now. Maledict does miss. If they would have got Maledict, they could have potentially went for some damage because Omniknight does have a heal when he pops his Soul Ring. And there we go. Witch Doctor's instead going to throw a heal. And Maledict not going through. No Maledict. Come on, throw your Maledict. Just throw your Maledict. He throws a Death Ward. Throws a heal, Death Ward instead. Throws a Repel. Oh my gosh, Omniknight, you bastard. Omniknight throws a Repel on top of Slark just to help him get away. And that's a lot of damage that he just dodged. I think that's the damage that he dodged. I'm not sure if Bash. I'm not sure if the Bash damage goes through because this shouldn't be physical. Yeah, it's magical. Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So it's magical damage, so the Bash did not go through. Zeus is casually kept picking himself a kill, so thanks bro for the gold. Meanwhile, we got Witch Doctor going to give himself a beautiful Cassie. That's the best possible Cassie you can ever get as a Witch Doctor. Just catching on two people like that, especially ones in max caster like that. Sadly, there's nobody really there to follow damage. Meanwhile, Drow down bottom. Speaking of damage, she's going to take all the damage and more. Elder Titan ulti to fly. Not really necessary, but hey, it's going to get used anyway. Does miss just barely on top of Drow Ranger. And, wow, Drow Ranger's still alive. Chris Maiden gonna be able to throw some white kittens at her. Finally, she does go down. Frostbite was used, and now we got Rubick picking up the kills on Chris Maiden once again. Elder Titan taking up some tower damage for no apparent reason. Phase booting away, trying to GTFO. We got Spearbreaker charging down bottom with Slark, helping his ally out. Slark is gonna be biting the bullet here very soon. He does have his ulti. He needs to go and pop it. No, he does not need to pop it. Or so no, he doesn't pop it. And Spearbreaker has 6 seconds left for charge. If he can keep vision for just that much time, he should be able to get the kill on top of Slark. But Slark is just so fast, so hard to keep up with. There's Spearbreaker charge on top of Slark. Slark's gonna go ahead and leap away, and Spearbreaker should be able to get this kill now.
Better swim for it.
Alright, now taking a real fast look at the items because, like I said, this might be one of those healing salves games where you see all the players just buy healing salves permanently for the next 30 minutes. But guys, they have proved me wrong. They are transitioning to items that are more sustainable, so therefore I can say that these guys are officially not players who are just maybe relatively new to the game. These guys who have been playing a few games, know a few things about the game, and maybe are just making some bad mistakes here or there, or maybe have some misconceptions. So as far as some of the misconceptions that I've seen that I do not like so far, it's basically the no courier strat coming out from the radio. It's not a good strategy, guys. Just 150 gold or 175, whatever it costs now. Just go ahead and pay the gold for it. It's still a worthwhile item to go for. It serves everybody and it makes everybody more efficient. And speaking of things being efficient, Rubick going for a Ring of Health, not really all that efficient, but Spearbreaker charging on top of Rubick while he's all by himself is very efficient. Frostbite's picked up by Rubick. He can't use it if he needs to. He's going to throw telekinesis on Spearbreaker. No Frostbite yet. Spearbreaker ulti does fly, so it doesn't matter. And Darkspawn able to pick up the kill on top of Rubick. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Slark roaming around. He's trying to build himself some power trades. And yeah, that's really about it. I mean, Slark going for power trades over phase boots. I like power trades a little bit better. But phase boost does make them a lot faster, but who really needs movement speed when you have max movement speed when nobody sees you? Essentially. Anyway, Chris Maiden gonna go and throw an Observer Ward around the corner, just for no apparent reason. Spearbreaker does get a charge also, maybe next level Dota coming out from these guys. Spearbreaker ulti is not up right now, just 45 seconds all he needs. Slark gonna go and pop that Shadow Dance, and he should be able to make it out of his own live. And he does, in fact, make it out of his own live. Meanwhile, mid, we got the push coming. The creeps are here. Oh wait, sorry. Wrong side. I thought these guys were dire side. My fault, guys. Was looking like she'd be ready to relocate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But sorry, another one of the mistakes I see. Oh, we got Elder Titan ulti flying through. Where'd it go? There it is. Elder Titan ulti going on top of Slark. Slark does eat a nice little chunk of damage, but he does not go down just yet. Zeus ulti does fly. Not enough damage to kill Elder Titan, but that is more than enough damage to kill him. Now we got Spearbreaker charge on top of that Zeus. Zeus gonna go ahead and back away. Slark is luckily keeping him alive. It's 5 more seconds before Spearbreaker is actually able to do anything. He needs a little bit more time. He does get a little bit more time. He can turn around and throw out the ulti, but he's going to go ahead and hobble on away while Zeus is trying to get some more mana so he can drop another Thunderbolt on top of that face. Meanwhile, Chris Maiden, Witch Doctor does get a kill on top of Wisp mid.
You're done.
And Rubick trying to chase his Witch Doctor, trying to get a spell, trying to get something. Sadly, Zeus is not able to finish off the kill on top of Spearbreaker. He really wishes he had another ult. But instead, it looks like Zeus is going to go ahead and buy himself a Veil of Discord. Trying to get a kill on top of Courier. Nope, Courier a little bit too fast. And meanwhile, mid, what's going on? Chris Maiden chased himself a Rubick of all people. Rubick could still be Frostbite from Chris Maiden, but a little bit too late. He gets hit with some tower damage, does go down to the tower, and gold's getting split between 2 people. So more gold, more fun, more power, more kills. And speaking of more gold, more fun, more power, more kills, Drow Ranger. Not too sure what she's going for, but she does have gold for power trades if she so desires to go for them. Maybe she's trying to go straight up for damage. Maybe she's trying to go for a Chrysalis. But I will say, judging by the play that we've seen from Drow so far, going for Chrysalis first is definitely not recommended. She definitely needs to buy some stuff to survive. And luckily, Spiritbreaker's charged on top of her creep, but it doesn't matter. We got 3 people rotating around, and Drow has no money for anything. I think she wants to go for Shadow Blade. It's really hard to tell. But Drow is going to go and stand still. Spiritbreaker ulti is coming on through soon if he can get into range. He does get into range. Drow does do a nice little bad move. Spiritbreaker ulti does fly through. Now we got the rotation coming inside. It doesn't really matter. She's dead anyway. Casket follows from Witch Doctor. Just a celebratory casket. And Crystal Maiden just bought herself for Earn of Shadows. One really nice item to have to supplement your survivability, supplement your HP, and also gives us a nice regen. And then we got Slark finding Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden pops that ulti and also pops herself a nice frost by a really good play coming up from her. Just having a nice little laugh. And Rubick does steal the ulti from Crystal Maiden. Oh my gosh, this could be bad if Crystal Maiden does not make it out of this one alive. Rubick coming close to her. He's gonna pop that ulti. He is not gonna. Oh my gosh, he did pop the ulti. Crystal Maiden threw out the frostbite just in time. Wow. Next level Dota, guys, and Crystal Maiden will be able to survive. She's gonna go ahead and make her victory march back home. Oh no, what's she doing? She needs to stop. She needs to run. She's gonna try to go for the man fight versus Rubick, but sadly she's not a man. She's a woman. She's only a maiden, and she does go down to the Zeus, who's a god, who is a slut. Excuse my language, guys.
Man proposes, God disposes.
And now we got Wisp. Wisp is gonna go ahead and back away. Just roll on out, because Wisp is a ball of energy stuff. And she's going to back away while she can. Spiritbreaker charging on down bottom. They're going to try to go for Rubick, who is in a little bit of trouble. He has nothing really to keep him alive, except for maybe a Perseverance, but that's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything, especially when Spiritbreaker has ult in 2 seconds. So Rubick's going to throw out the Telekinesis. And here's the ulti for Spiritbreaker. Does fly. It's going to stop the Rubick in his tracks. Spiritbreaker does have the armlet too. And that's a dead Rubick. I mean, he just didn't have the armlet. Elder 10 ulti getting on top of everybody who was mid, and everybody getting pulled right back in. Zeus ulti does fly, does get a kill on top of one. The Slark does get a kill on top of Witch Doctor, and now we got Slark backing on the way. Elder 10 ulti did fly through. It did hit everybody, like I said, but sadly nobody was really there to follow up on the damage. And as far as the potential that the Dire have whenever they're going for the team fights, they do have quite a bit of potential. They have Witch Doctor with the they have Elder 10 with the Stomp, then Witch Doctor with the Maledict. And then Elder follow up with his ulti, and then Witch Doctor drop his ulti as well. That is a crap ton of damage. And oh, by the way, there's also a Crystal Maiden with her ulti, and also a Omniknight with his heal. So I mean, it's a lot of potential that Dire could have, but they're not really utilizing it to the best of its ability. Mainly because, well, maybe it's a slight misunderstanding of what's going on, or maybe it's just bad plays. That's just bad plays. Speaking of bad plays, we got these guys diving on the tower. Is not the best place to dive, especially not for Crystal Maiden. She's only a support. She's not really worth it. Abandonment does come out from Omniknight. I didn't realize Omniknight wasn't playing. Oh man, sad. Sad days. Omni does get an abandonment. So, yeah, that happened.
Dire's middle tower.
And then we got Crystal Maiden mid. She's about to go down. She does go down to the Drow Ranger. Finally, some kills going her way. She has nothing yet. Elder Stomp does come through. He does cancel at the very last second. Not the best of things to do, especially in the middle of the fight. He's going to do a nice little chunk of damage, but not going to get a whole lot. Witch Doctor ulti does go through, but it does get canceled once again. Just like everything else in this game, everything's getting canceled. Slark, though, he did get healed with the Maledict. If only he has some damage on top of him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, and one thing to talk about really fast, guys. One thing to talk about really fast is the Elder Titan. The reason why Elder Titan has been seeing a whole bunch of play in high level play, even in the pubs, is because of his natural order. Natural order is one of Elder Titan's, arguably one of his best skills in the game. Well, not one of his best skills. Yeah, actually no, yeah, one of his best skills in the game. Arguably. The reason why I say arguably is because some people say the Astral Spirit is a lot better because it actually does damage. But anyway, the natural order, what it does is it basically reduces the base stats, or the base armor, and also base magic resistance of everybody by a certain number. Base armor, it reduces it by 100 at level 4, and base magic resistance, it reduces it by 33%. Now, the reason why this is such a potent thing is because a lot of people don't build armor like Drow Ranger right now. If you had natural order maxed out, Drow Ranger has 0 armor. And that means that she'll die that much faster. And just to give you guys perspective really fast on what the armor actually does, essentially for every 1 point of armor you decrease the damage that you feel from outcoming physical damage by 6%. Now speaking hold that thought, we got on that ulti getting used for no apparent reason. There's a dead Rubick, a lot of resources getting used just to kill a Rubick, but that on that ulti was not used or not needed at all. But he did drop it just cause just casually dropping that ulti. So yes, going back to the armor thing. So if you, for every 1 point of armor, you effectively reduce the incoming damage from physical attacks by 6%.
Radiant's bottom
And Slark does go down Oh, sorry, Slark does get to kill himself with Elder Titan. Oh, wow, okay. I was trying to figure out where the Elder Titan ulti was going through at. So, when you have the reduced damage, I mean, that means you, or when you have that armor reduced, that means you do die a lot faster. So Elder Titan not having that is kind of not using Elder Titan to his fullest advantage.
Can this be?
And now we got Dark Pond, Spearbreaker getting himself a kill. Now we got Wisp versus Witch Doctor mid. Malady does go through, Wisp does get hit with it, but she's going to be sadly get brought right back to where she was. I don't know if these guys are going to stand around and kill her, but they should, because this is an easy kill right there.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That is an easy kill. Buyback does come from Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger going to go in with the Wisp. No, Wisp is going to go right back, and these guys did say, hey, screw that, we're not going to go for the kill. Sad days. Sad days. Oh yeah, and also from Elder Titan, the reduction in magic resistance is also really nice for people like Witch Doctor and Crystal Maiden and, well yeah, just Witch Doctor and Crystal Maiden. Elder Titan Stomp gonna go through. It does lay on top of Wisp, and Wisp is gonna eat a whole bunch of damage. Dagon does fly through from Witch Doctor. He did decide to build himself a Dagon, which I think is a little bit silly, but hey, why not? When the game is going so well for both sides, and by well, I mean so evenly. Radiant do have the gold graph for the current, or for at this point in time. But keep in mind that the Radiant only have one tower down versus the Dyer's 2 towers down. So that means that the Radiant are up by 1,000 gold in tower. And if you take that gold away, I mean, the gold graph is a lot closer than what it seems. Actually, no, it should be 2,000 because it's almost at 3,000. So what that basically means is that the Radiant should have better items. The Radiant should have better items. And actually, Zeus got him. Oh no, no, Zeus. Spearbreaker did get himself a kill on top of what looked to be a Zeus. And Zeus also did fly through, almost got a kill on top of Crystal Maiden. He did get hit with the Veil of Discord. And the reason why Zeus does fall off a lot of times in these games is because magic damage, I mean, yeah, sure, it's magic damage. It does say a big number. But at the end of the day, magic damage only does but so much. People just start feeling magic resistance, they feel more HP, they survive a lot longer. And speaking of surviving a lot longer, Spearbreaker actually getting hit with the leash, and we got Crystal Maiden going to throw a Frostbite right on top of Slark. Slark can't really move anywhere. He does have the leap, he can leap on the high ground if he needs to. He does leap up steps instead of leaping straight to high ground. Spearbreaker charging up top. Or maybe he's charging to creeps, and we got Drow Ranger. I'm actually in a little bit of trouble. She's on the wrong side of the river. She does eat a Dagon to her back, and she does get thrown on the ground, as the YouTube video would have it. Meanwhile, skirmish going on down bottom. Wisp is here with a Crystal Maiden, or sorry, with a Slark, and also with the Rubick. The combination's coming through. Witch Doctor's casting coming through. Bounce on top of 2 people. Sadly, not the best of bounces. That is a dead Witch Doctor. I don't know if he got a Malady health, but yeah, he didn't get a Malady health. Anyway, we got Slark leaping on top of Spearbreaker once again. Crystal Maiden does not have her ulti for another 18 seconds, but she did have it. That just might be a dead everybody. She does get healed telekinesis. This will be a dead her instead. Zeus able to pick up a kill on top of that. Meanwhile, on top, we got Omniknight able to pick up a tower. So at least something going their way, but still they're down by 1 tower. By they I mean the Dire side.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
So this looks like the push will continue. For 4 people pushing, 1 person is back in base. That is the Drow Ranger. She did just come back alive. And Dire Sharks are fortified. They need to defend this though. I don't think they'll be able to win a base race. Especially now with the Spearbreaker, who doesn't really have that much damage yet. He's going to be going for, I hope he's not going for Bloods. I really do hope he's not going for Bloods. If anything, well actually no, Mask of Madness, okay, that makes sense. But even still, Mask of Madness at this point in the game, I mean, you typically see Spearbreakers either go for Armor or Mask of Madness. I don't want to say you rarely see him go for both, but it's a little bit redundant to go for both. The reason why you get an Armlet is so you can be a little bit more survivable, hit a little bit harder, and hit a slight bit faster. The reason why you go for the Mask of Madness is so you can just hit faster and just get a perma bashes on top of everybody. And also so you can chase people. It's really good for chasing. And speaking of chasing, we got Slark that's going to find himself a Spearbreaker. He can't throw with the leash. Leash does land, and this is a dead Spearbreaker. He's losing some stats, and he does lose his life as well. Elder Titan going to go toe-to-toe with Slark once again. Spearbreaker buying right back. He does have a charge up. He can't use it if he needs to, but Slark does pop himself a Shadow Dance. And meanwhile, we got Rubick who did steal some bash. He does find himself Elder Titan. Elder Titan does go down. And what's in Zeus trying to take on some Ancients? Trying. So at this stage in the game, we see the XP graph does show it's heading toward that 0 mark. And XP graph, let's go and talk about this real fast. So as I always say about XP graph, the XP graph is relatively irrelevant because the longer and longer the game goes on, the closer it converts to 0. But it's still a really nice indicator of where everybody is at this current point in time. And as you guys can see, everybody's pretty much at the 0 mark. If you look at the effective XP of everybody holding before we did, we got Omniknight popping his ulti, gonna survive a little bit longer, gives himself a nice little heal damage on Slark. And Slark gonna get hit with a nice little charge, and boom, here goes Spearbreaker. Damage coming through, ulti from Spearbreaker, able to do more than enough to kill the Slark. And now we got Zeus gonna follow suit. Spearbreaker charge should be up, no, never mind. I was about to say, should be up soon. I thought he charged from base, but he did not. Meanwhile, mid, we got another team fight going on. We got Chris Maiden, she's surviving somehow. Rubick did go down first. Wisp trying to get the kill on top of Chris Maiden. We'll be able to get the kill if one of those spirits hits. And those spirits will finally hit. Witch Doctor trying to heal this Chris Maiden, but not enough. Wisp gonna go and back away. And here comes Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger showing up with nothing but boots. I'm not too sure what she's going for, but I really do hope it's not Butterfly first. Doesn't really matter. She's gonna go down, and Wisp gonna follow suit. Wisp did try to relocate out. So that will be on cooldown, but it doesn't really matter. Wisp was not using that to his full advantage. To begin with, we'll go ahead and say
bottom
that.
tower is under attack.
Purified.
Omniknight going for a what looks to be a mechanism. What should be a, I guess, a relatively late
Radiant's
mechanism.
top tower is under attack.
Better late than never, I guess. But a pipe of insight would be really nice for his team to
Radiant's
have.
bottom
Mainly
tower
because
is under attack.
Zeus ult and also Zeus everything. Zeus does have a Veil of Discord, which increased. Oh wait, hold on. Before we do, we got Spirit Breaker charging down bottom on top of Zeus. His ulti's up in another 7 seconds. And Zeus is actually caught in some reprieve right now, getting bashed right back to where he was. And Zeus ulti does fly. He does have some. He does have max points aside of his static build, so he did do quite a bit of damage to Spirit Breaker, which is nice. But it wasn't enough. And now we got Slark. Slark found himself an Omniknight. I don't know where that stun came from. I got a bash right there. And Omniknight getting himself some nice dungeon aura action going on top of Slark. Slark might be in a lot of trouble. If Spirit Breaker were healthy, he probably would charge. And now Omniknight's still running. I don't know why he stopped running, but okay. He instantly buys back into the game because, hey bro, I don't care if my death count is going to go up. I don't care if I'm not going to earn any reliable gold now. I'm going to just go ahead and buy back and just keep going. So looking at the net worth, we see that everything's pretty much well threaded in the top 4, almost the top 5. We got Slark at the top, followed by Spirit Breaker, followed by Zeus, followed by Witch Doctor, which is just flip-flopping back and forth. But for the most part, the Dire are slightly behind the Radiant. That's not really saying much because the Dire, like I said, the Dire do have a lot of potential. And so, technically so does the Radiant. But at the end of the day, Zeus doesn't really do all that well in the late game because everybody just builds BKB or has a lot of HP or just builds magic resistance. And also Slark, yeah, sure, he can become scary, he can get a Scotty, he can do whatever he wants, but, you just get enough armor, you can survive Slark for long enough to kill him faster than he can kill you. Or just get enough CC on top of his head. Speaking of CC on top of his head, we got Elder gonna go and throw the stomp. Stomp does not land. Oh my gosh, the bash come through at the perfect timing, and Elder does go down. So many stats gone, so many stats gained, and so much HP gone towards Slark, who does have himself a max, so he does have himself a max ulti, so he's going to be moving a little bit fast. Chris Maiden does get hit with the stun. Coming up from Zeus. That was a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt does have a mini stun, don't forget that. And Witch Doctor is going to go and throw a casket. He's going to throw a Maledict, but Maledict will not be able to go through. He does, in fact, or instead run away and trying to heal himself up. Omniknight going to heal his ally up and continue to run. Omniknight does have only 3 points inside of that. He pops his ulti a little bit too early in my honest opinion, but hey, he pops it anyway and does himself some nice little physical damage. Witch Doctor ulti does fly through, but it does cancel. As far as Witch Doctor's ulti goes, you have to channel it. It is a channeled ability. You cannot just drop it and walk away. It does not work that way. And Witch Doctor's going to go toe-to-toe with Slark. Slark's going to win this fight, of course.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And middle.
Dire's structures are
Middle tower's going to be going
fortified.
down here very soon. What's going to help Slark move, attack a little bit faster. Elder ulti going to fly through, but sadly nobody's really going to follow. Zeus eats all that damage. Doesn't really do much with it, and Elder did throw a stomp. Didn't really catch him, but Slark's going to go ahead and just kill him casually. Why the freak not? He has all the essence in the world. 27 essence stacks, so that's 81 extra damage going his way. He's also building himself a Scotty now, so he'll be able to slow these guys down pretty darn fast, and just basically make the day a living heck. And Rubick actually built himself a Bloodstone, so that'd be pretty nice one to have.
Radiant's bottom
As
tower
far as
is
reaching
under
goes, as far as
attack.
being able to cast his spells. As far as what Rubick could also alternatively build, especially since the new patch, Aghanim Scepter is a really nice item for him to go for. It gives us some decent stats. I would not recommend rushing for it. But I do think it's still a decent item for him to go for. And I got Wisp and Slark going on back to base. Slark, looks like Slark wanted to go play some shopping simulator in Dota 2. And Wisp and Slark are going to go ahead and go back to where they came. And they're ready to fight once again. Meanwhile, Chris Maiden, she's very low already. Slark does give himself a leash on top of Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker going to be going down. He does eat a whole bunch of damage, dies instantly, almost instantly. Zeus Veil of Discord does fly through. Witch Doctor is the one who's getting caught with that, and also Omniknight. There's a nice little dungeon, nice little repel thrown on top of him. And Witch Doctor's going to heal his allies up. I think he's going for a cheap stick, but I'm not too sure. We got the casket flying now. It's going to bounce on top of some creeps instead of some heroes. Really want to bounce on top of heroes, but This is not prioritizing him. We got L-Time Stomp gonna come through. Does not hit anybody because he did not throw Astral Spirit out first, and now he does the Astral Spirit out. Not the best of combinations, but hey, he throws it out anyway. He's gonna shoot these guys away, and looks like the Dire will be able to defend their base temporarily. Slark does go forward. Slark does get stunned up, and Slark does get a kill. Looks like he actually no, Witch Doctor got killed by Wisp. No, Witch Doctor killed Wisp, sorry. Meanwhile, we got L-Time Stomp coming through, gonna miss everybody completely. Actually, no, I think he was Slark. Slark did get a death pack though, so he did survive that. And Chris Maiden getting himself some nice ulti action going on in the middle. L-Time ulti gonna fly on through. Slark did get caught inside of it. Slark will be going down finally. That'll take a long time, but these guys have been fighting since 2 L-Time ultis, guys. And L-Time ulti is like 90-second cooldown. Long time cooldown. But they've been fighting for about a minute, 30 seconds. We got Zeus coming on forward, getting a little bit anti. Rubick, nice little telekinesis stun on top of a few people. L-Time throwing his Astral Spirit, not using it to his full advantage, but hey, using it instead. Anyway, and we got Zeus standing still. I think Zeus just gave up on life.
Dire's top tower is under
Either that or he was just trying to buy some items.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But this no courier strat. I'm still not liking it, guys. Still not liking it. And also, Drow Ranger, what is she going for is a big question. If I do, she does have enough gold for Eagle Song, so she's trying to go for a straight up butterfly. Yeah, that's questionable. Well, that's not just questionable. That's not recommended at all. Usually for Drow Ranger, you want to go for some. Well, okay. See, it kind of depends on how you want to play your Drow. You can either go for Glass Cannon type Drow or Sustainable Carry Drow. As far as Glass Cannon Drow, just build yourself, I don't know, Phase Boots, Chrysalis, Ring of Aquila, something like that. As far as late game carry type Drow, pretty much the same thing, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, yeah, pretty much the same thing. Drow it's kind of hard to say Drow is a sustainable carry. I mean, she can't build herself a Helmet of Dominator. She does finally buy a courier, but she will be going down here very soon. She stands still to buy everything, and yeah, the courier's finally bought up. So Drow, being a good guy, playing a good guy Drow, does buy back into the game. Use the courier, please. Does not use the courier. She bought herself Tranquil Boots, and she also bought herself some Power Treads. So dim double boots. Actually, Drow doesn't decide not to use the courier. And yeah, this is a. Anyways, as far as sustainable carries are Drow, I would say Helmet of Dominator would definitely be one of the core items to go for if you're trying to do that. I have seen some people try to go Armlet Drow, which I don't like at all. It doesn't serve much purpose. Anyway, we got a fight happening mid. We got Repel again throwing something Chris Maiden. Chris Maiden can't go back in and drop that ulti she needs to, but she's not going to do it. Rubick's going to do it forward instead. I mean, ulti does fly through, but sadly that's a lot of magic damage coming their way. Rubick does get killed with a whole bunch of damage. He does go down. Chris Maiden going to channel her all on ulti, but she probably should have used that a little bit earlier. I'm Witch Doctor trying to use his ulti is not going to do much because he did cancel as soon as it started. Double kill going the other way of the Radiant, and now we got Witch Doctor getting pulled right back in. He does go down too. Elder Titan, where are you is a big question. And Elder Titan has been farming in the jungle. Has a courier bring himself something pretty? It is a okay. 2 healing cells.
It just keeps getting better.
And Crystal Maiden buys back. I'm not sure what she's really going to be able to do, especially with her ulti down. But she's going to march right on back in and try to do what she can to keep her tower alive. Slark almost has himself a thing, Scotty. And Elder Titan going to go ahead and give himself some healing cells because he's so pro at Dota. Excuse my language, guys. Yeah, really at this point in the game, I mean, you don't really need healing cells, especially when you have a Vanguard. A Vanguard is a really nice sustainable item. It gives you some regen. It gives you a lot of regen. You don't really need. Yeah, you really don't need a Vanguard. Sorry, you really don't need healing cells when you have a Vanguard. Healing cells are a very expensive way to heal yourself up late game because you can get some more sustainable items, presumably, by getting yourself some health regen, which heals you up over time. And also, don't forget, Elder Titan has himself a Perseverance, which looks like he's going to be going for a Refresher Orb or something like that. But with all that regen that he has, he really doesn't need a healing cell. Just needs to be patient. Anyway, Witch Doctor's gonna get pulled right in. He's no Malady coming through. He does drop his ult. He does channel for like 1.5 seconds, then goes down. 2 DCs coming out from Crystal Maiden and also Elder Titan. These guys give up on life, and now we got Rubick charging in. Nice little damage coming towards that Zeus, and Zeus does go down. Now we got a buyback coming from Zeus. Zeus wants to pop his ulti or something. I don't know. Omniknight's taking a lot of damage. He just wishes he had his ult right now. Not gonna be able to have it. Zeus ulti does fly. Give himself a double kill. Nice kill coming towards Rubick. And that's essentially a team wipe on the side of the Dire. With 2 DCs. With 2 DCs, guys. A Rubick 17 Bloodstone charges, building himself a Rod of Atos. Why the heck not? You have 3 people left on the enemy team. 2 people left on the enemy team.
Barracks are under attack. Dyer's
And let's
middle
just see
barracks
how much
has
more time we
fallen.
have. Okay. No comments on how much time we have left, guys. No comment at all.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yes, guys, I will
Dyer's middle
reaffirm this. I will say
barracks
this
has
again. If you guys ever do see me in replays, I do enjoy casting replays. I will cast your replays for the most part. Like I don't care how low level or high level you are. I will cast it. I would like to cast it. But the only ones that I do have a caveat, the only ones that I will prefer not to cast at all, are the ones where you have DCs like this, because this is not. I mean, like usually the game just drags on for about 30 more minutes because the other team just defends too well. And I'm not saying that's gonna happen with this game, but I'm just saying for future reference, guys, if you have like one person DC on the other team or one person DC on your team, it's not fun to cast. It scales off. It scales off very hard. Once we hit this point with three people DC, for the purposes of we're losing. Crystal Maiden does come forward. She does go down. And we're starting to get used as a healing base thing. He's going to heal himself up and also heal his allies up. The fight's going to continue. Maskman is getting popped by Spirit Breaker. He wants to do a little bit of damage. Veil of Discord getting used off Spirit Breaker. He needs to be really careful right now because he's very vulnerable to a lot of damage. As you get telekinesis, get hit with a whole bunch of damage from Zeus. Zeus feeling like a boss. Excuse me, Cascade did fly from Wisp. Spirit Breaker did ulti did fly through on top of Rubick. Rubick ulti did fly. Spirit Breaker ulti from Rubick flew on top of Spirit Breaker and they got the kill. Spirit Breaker does buy back. These guys are being as scrappy as possible, but hey, like I said, there's a high chance they're not going to win this one, guys. Spirit Breaker charging on forward, trying to get a kill on top of Rubick. He will be able to get the kill on top of Rubick if he has enough damage. Ulti from him does land and Rubick does buy back. That was one of the fastest buybacks I've seen in my life. But he buys back instantly. Just knew he was dead.
Dyer's middle tower
And gives himself a round of Athos as soon as he drops on the ground. Drow Ranger has herself some double boots and also a animal courier. Cool stuff. Rubick has himself a Rod of Athos and a Bloodstone, and as far as the rest of the items go, because, I mean, I haven't really spent much time talking about them, we got Slark building himself a Flying Courier and an Animal Courier. Sadly, he doesn't know he needs to use them. Spirit Breaker picking himself a free kill on top of Drow Ranger. Easy kill is easy. Because Drow Ranger, like I said, has those double boot strat going on. Meanwhile, we got Zeus with the Aghanim Scepter plus a Veil of Discord. A lot of damage coming towards people when they come towards him. Slark selling a whole bunch of stuff for... Okay, he's trying to use his courier. There we go. He finally uses a courier. They finally have a courier, guys. Radiant are no longer under the no courier or under the courier strat. No courier strat. And Rubick will be instantly using the courier. Of all people, Rubick gonna use the courier.
Tower is under attack.
Said Slark was playing the. Sorry, never mind. Well, let's not talk about that. We got Spirit Breaker charging forward on Rubick. Beautiful timing on the telekinesis. That is a very fast moving Spirit Breaker, and it's not that. Well, sometimes not that easy to catch him. We got Rubick on blink forward, getting hit with a nice little ultimate Spirit Breaker, almost able to get himself out of there. He does drop the Rod of Athos off Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker gonna go ahead and chase him to the gates of hell because he has movement speed out for days. Rubick can suicide if he needs to. Spirit Breaker gonna go ahead and stand still for no apparent reason. Rubick blinking forward. Invis Rune is down there. He can't pick it if he needs to. But we got Spirit Breaker once again stopping. I think he's just right clicking, and every time Rubick breaks a vision, Spirit Breaker stops moving because he keeps right clicking. Yeah, he's just right clicking on Rubick, expecting Rubick to be there. And it's like Darkspawn might just face himself an untimely death because Zeus is here, popped himself an Invis Rune. Spirit Breaker did charge forward. He did get this charge off, and Zeus. Next level Dota, guys. Next level Dota. Popping that Invis Rune right before that charge came through, and now Spirit Breaker's going to back away with a whole bunch of creeps following him. Saying, get out of here! Shoo! You don't belong here. See me a nice chunk of creeps pushing on mid because these are mega creeps, by the way, and there's going to be two waves of them now because Spirit Breaker did do a nice little pull of his own on accident. Scotty purchased up by Slark. Veil of Discord used by Zeus. Will he be able to get a kill on top of his Witch Doctor? It looks like he will not. Ruby coming forward, blink forward, telekinesis used on top of Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor getting pulled right back in. Will he be able to get a kill on top of anybody? No, he doesn't get a kill on top of anything. Zeus ulti does fly. They do know where Spirit Breaker is right now. They were looking for him. And GG well played coming out from Darkspawn on the side of the Dire, and this looks like this is just that's the final push. There's too many creeps here. Nobody's really here to defend. Nobody can defend. Spirit Breaker going to charge in full man mode, going full retard. He might be able to get a kill on top of Drow, that's really bad. Ulti from Rubick, from Spirit Breaker on top of Rubick. Rubick getting permanent bastard death. Telekinesis coming from him. He's going to toss Spirit Breaker right into the middle of everything. Spirit Breaker gonna get a kill. No, he doesn't get a kill. Rubick blanks away. Spirit Breaker really trying to get a kill on top of Rubick, but not going to be able to do anything of the sort. And we're just casually waiting for this Ancient to go down.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
And boom, there it goes, guys. That is the end of the game. Oh, man. Whew. That was an interesting one for the most part. And I actually have a special thing to say afterwards. So anyway, this game did happen. This was a game that was, I guess, some bad plays, some good plays, some redeeming qualities, some non-redeeming qualities. But anyway, at any rate, this game was sent in by Darkspawn, who was on the Dire side, who played the Spirit Breaker. So thank you, Darkspawn, for sending me his replay. And that said, here's a special announcement. Darkspawn, you are a person that I met through, I don't remember how I met you, but however I met you, I don't really matter. You are probably one of the few people who I'll admit that was very annoying to me on Steam. And the reason why I'm making this announcement is also to go to everybody else who loves trading. I understand people love trading. I understand trading is an awesome thing. I understand people want to trade to get some mutual gains back and forth. And I understand some things that you want to trade. But at the end of the day, guys, I do not give any cares about trading. I care about my items. As far as whatever items I get, I like to hold on to them. And I'm cool that you care about my items, that you want them so much that you want to trade. But if I say I do not want to trade, that means I do not want to trade. Please, if you ever want to trade with me, and I say no, I don't want to trade, don't ask me 5 times every week. Don't do it. I'm sorry. All this goes along with to say that Darkspawn is no longer on my friends list. I'm sad to say that I had to cast this on a very sad note because this just happened literally 5 minutes before I started casting. He sent me another message saying, "Hey, Cool Blue, do you want to trade? I just want your Team Fortress 2 items." And I said no. I said no like he asked me like 20 times already. So this is a public service announcement to put Darkspawn, yes, it is a public service announcement to put him on blast, and also put everybody else who wants to trade with me in the future on blast as well. I do not like trading. There's a high chance that if you ask me to trade, I'm going to say no. Just letting you know that up front, guys. And I will give you a whole bunch of chances to, redeem yourself. If you ask me 1 time and I say no, maybe you ask me a 2nd time, I'm cool with that. If you ask me a 3rd time, I might get a little annoyed. 4th time, sure, yeah, I'm still annoyed. 5th time, no, that's not cool. You're off the friends list. That's all I gotta say, guys. That's all I gotta say. Please do not hassle me or harass me for trading items. So Darkspawn, thank you for sending me this game. I'm sad that I'm casting on such a sad note. And for everybody else who wants to trade with me in the future, just know that I generally don't like trading, as in, I don't care if you're going to give me the International 5 Courier. I don't care. I don't want it. If I wanted it that bad, I'll go buy it myself. There. Anyway, now that the air is cleared, now that everything feels better, like I said, thank you, Darkspawn, for sending me this game. This was a very interesting game. Also, to everybody else, yeah, please send me in games where not everybody DCs at the end. Yeah, sure, this one was at the end, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, I would prefer to see everybody stay through, even though some people are raging back and forth. And like I said, this one's kind of different because they DC'd at the end, and where we knew the game was already over. So it's not that bad. But if somebody DC's like 5 minutes in and you still send the replay, guys, please don't do that. That is no fun for the viewer, also no fun for the caster, who happens to be me. So all that said, all that aside, I hope you guys enjoy the cast, and I'll see you guys whenever.